Now, Tracy also caught up with Zhaopin CEO Evan Guo shortly after the company made its debut on the New York Stock Exchange. She started by asking him about the company's strategy for growth.
In terms of growth, I think there are two key drivers of our growth. First of all, it's the industry. Sort of the whole Korean industry, the job industry is growing very fast. Everyone's talking about the China GDP is softening a bit to 7 percentage point of this, but we see a lot of fundamental change in the structure of the economy. And those changes, including urbanization, we see a lot of growth from third-tier and fourth-tier cities. Those changes actually includes the switch into service sector. 45 percentage point of our GDP comes from service. It used to be made in China, but now we see more and more trend of servicing in China. This is certainly a good trend for us because we are providing a lot of jobs for white collars and helping service industry employers try to get white collar workers. So that's a good trend. And also the SME, we actually see a trend of SMEs, particularly in service industries, growing very fast. So we're very lucky to be in a very good industry and witness the Chinese economy is going through structural change. And those structural changes are opportunities for us.
You talk about the Chinese economy. Do you think that U.S. investors are interested in Chinese companies listing in the U.S. because they see this as a good way to access China's economy?
Well, absolutely. So a lot of U.S. investors are very interested in the Chinese story, particularly in internet. People are very interested. High tech is growing very, very fast in China. So it's a new growth engine of the Chinese economy. Also, we're in people business. There are 1.4 billion people in China, 700 million working population, at least 100 million white collars. This is amazing space. So we're one of the very few internet companies operating in this space. So we see a lot of enthusiasm coming from U.S. investors.
Finally, before you go, we've seen a slew of Chinese companies list in the U.S. 8 went public in the U.S. last year. There are a number lined up for this year.
That's right.
What is it about the U.S. capital markets that it's attracting so many Chinese companies to come and set up shop here?
Well, I think first of all, it's global economy, right? You can't say it's U.S., it's China, it's global economy. The capital is fluid, it's moving around. So that's my first thought. Secondly, I think the U.S. analysts, the U.S. investors have a very deep understanding about Chinese high-tech companies, particularly high-tech companies. So I think that's the reason we come to the States and we want to develop faster. We want to build a good connection with those investors.